Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can take some plain canvas duck cloth, which is just a thick canvas. I get mine at Walmart, and I've also purchased it at Hobby Lobby. You can use that, a stencil like this one I'm loving so much for fall that is called Fall Leaves or Autumn Leaves pattern. You can use some ink in a variety of different colors, a little polyfill, and you can make the cutest little stuffed pumpkins that you can hang on a garland that could be in a dough bowl. And then I have an idea that involves an embroidery hoop and making a piece of art. So this is really fun, super easy. It's gonna get the wheels of your mind spinning like crazy. And what I think you're especially gonna love is how I'm gonna show you how to give it some dimension. You see the back of this. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. All right, the first thing you're going to do is you're gonna create your fabric. And this morning, I've been busy playing and making lots of fabric. This right here is the fabric that we're going to be using today for our project. It's going to be a black and cream, really super cute. I'm super excited about it. But also, I was playing with a combination of this Magnolia green and this is called amethyst inks to create this piece of fabric. And then I was playing a little more with a combination of this turquoise and this orange, vibrant orange, to make this one. So you can see that you can do one color, you can do multiple colors, or you could just do like what we're going to do in just a minute, sort of a tone on tone. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to show you how to actually create it. And then I'm going to talk to you about heat setting it, and then we'll move on to the next step. My stash, gosh, I've got stuff all over me. My stash of canvas duck cloth has dwindled down to almost nothing left. Seriously. So I'm just going to show you on this little piece of fabric, just a small area, how to create this. Oh shoot, and I left my tub of water out in the kitchen. I might have to run and go get that because I don't want to ruin my stencil. So we're just going to do a little bit here. If you are stenciling on fabric, there's really no need to fuzz, even if your stencil is brand spanking new, like this one. But mine, this one here, this is such a versatile stencil. This is my third fall using it. I've probably used it, I can't even guess, 50 or 60 times. And it looks terrible, but it still works just completely fine. Okay, what I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna use glittering gold ink and a squeegee. And I'm gonna show you how quick this goes on. I'm gonna put some blobs to get us started. Where's the edge? Okay, about right there. So basically, you're just going to put your ink on the front of your stencil, and it takes absolutely no time at all to push it through the holes in your stencil, like I'm doing right here. You want to avoid the urge to keep going over and over and over, because that is when you can sometimes push too much medium through the holes on your stencil. And if you're working in a small space, you can also have a tendency to go outside of the lines. But anyways, this is gonna be pretty. I'm excited to see what this tone on tone is going to look like. Okay, one thing that I like to do when I'm working with these stencils on fabric is I like to kind of lift it up and peek to see, are there any spots where I didn't get enough ink pushed through the stencil, and then I can just go over it. So I'm gonna start on this side and lift it up and look. And it looks pretty darn good. And then I'm gonna lift up this side and peek. The whole thing looks great. So I am gonna say, hang on for 2 seconds, and I'm gonna go run grab my tub of water. So talk amongst yourselves. I don't want to ruin my stencil. To fetch. It's my yucky tub of water. I'm just gonna plunk it over here, take my stencil off, and I'm gonna throw it face down in this tub of water. Ooh, that's really pretty. Until I can get out to the kitchen sink to wash my stencil and lay it on the counter with the sticky side up to dry. Okay, let me show you what this looks like. Look how pretty that is. So once you have it stenciled, it's gonna take a couple of hours to be fully dry. If you can possibly stand it, it's best to wait for the next step until the next day. But I'm so impatient. I never can. So I'm gonna set this aside so it can be drying. And now I'm gonna show you how to heat set. All right, well, and we'll work with this one, which I did earlier. All right, so this is my iron, which I have set on cotton, no steam. It's not even really plugged in, but I'm just gonna show you the basics. You wanna lay your piece of fabric that you created with ink and a stencil on your ironing board, and then you're just going to go over and over and over and over it, moving your iron around for 3 or 4 minutes. I like to use a piece of parchment paper in between my iron and the fabric that I made, just to make sure that I don't get any of it melted on my iron. And then I'll flip it over and I'll do 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, let's talk about this. This piece of fabric right here is probably never, I mean, it is never going to actually get washed. But theoretically, I could wash it, except it would all fray and come apart. But when you heat set ink with a hot iron on fabric, it's permanent. So if this was a tea towel, and it would be a super cute one, you could throw it in the washing machine and dryer and use it over and over and over again. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I have these other fabrics that we've created, but I want to use this one. So what I did before I came live, let me shut my door. Was I used a piece of computer paper to make a pattern for a pumpkin. Pumpkins come in all different shapes and sizes, and this is just what I came up with off the top of my head. And I traced it on a piece of plain cotton duck cloth. This is going to be the back, and I'm going to pin it on a piece of this fabric that we created, and we're going to cut it out. I'll show you how to glue it together. I'll show you how to create the ridges of the pumpkin that give it dimension. We're basically going to create 3 separate areas that we're going to stuff. Ow. That hurts. Okay, so I'm gonna free my back piece right now just by trimming around it. So I'm working on a smaller piece and I'm gonna cut it out. And it really doesn't have to be perfect. You just want the front and the back to match as much as possible. So in just a second before we start gluing, I want to show you the projects from yesterday using this same stencil. They turned out so good, and I want to give you a preview of some future projects that we're going to do. Okay, so yesterday, put this over here, get out of my way. Yesterday, or not yesterday, Saturday. Yesterday was Christ and Crafting. On Saturday, we made this tin wall pocket, and this is red and orange chalk paste. And then we made this one using this same stencil, and this is almond latte and glittering gold chalk paste. Not ink, it's chalk paste. So we made these. I also showed you this idea, which is just a glass canister that I stenciled using chalk paste again, the glittering gold and the almond latte. And then I showed you this project from last year, which is a book stack that I used a bunch of different colors and kind of a swirly-do effect on the top of it to make a cute little Gather Autumn Thankful book stack. Coming either tomorrow or the next day, we're gonna experiment with stenciling fall leaves on these battery operated candles. So I hope you can see that there are so many different things that you can do with these, because there really are. All right, let's take the pins out of this. Gonna set this in the back. Put one pin in it just to kind of hold it in place while we get started. Okay, so our pumpkin looks like, where's my pattern? Like this. And I'm going to start on one side, and I'm going to do this centerpiece first. This piece. Then we're going to go up and around, and we're going to leave the bottom open, and we'll stuff our stuff and fluff up there. Then we'll do the center, and we'll leave the bottom open and we'll stuff it. And then we'll do this side, and we'll leave the bottom open and we'll stuff it. And then I'm going to show you the fun next step. Okay. So I'm using my low temperature hot glue gun that looks terrible today. It is a Surebonder Cool Shot low temperature hot glue gun. It's it really hurts to get glue burns, really. So I recommend that you use a low temperature hot glue gun, and this is a great inexpensive one for under $10. And I've been burned too many times, and I don't want to experience that ever again. So I almost never use my full hot glue gun, although I have several in my drawer here. Okay, so I've done the first section. And I'm going to pull it open just a little bit at the bottom and grab some fluff. This is Polyfill from Walmart, nothing fancy. If you don't have Polyfill, you could take apart an old pillow to use. I've heard people, and I've tried it myself, use plastic grocery bags. You would cut them up and you stuff your piece with that. There's lots of things that you can do if you don't have Polyfill. So I'm just sticking my stuffing in here. I'm gonna use my pencil to push it in, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, the ridges, in just a minute. I don't think I said any of my normal stuff. How is everyone doing? As you're hopping on, I'd love to know who's here with me, so say hi. If you have questions, feel free to ask. At the very end, if you want links to anything that I've shown, just let me know and I'll be glad to get those for you so you don't have to hunt it down. If you just want to go take a peek, just let me know. And if you like this video, feel free to sprinkle, all that normal good stuff. Okay, so I have this first section stuffed, and I think you can really see that much better when you look at the back. So I'm gonna seal this section off with my hot glue gun. Pinch these pieces together. And let's go on to the next section, which is going to be the center section. And the stem. So I'm just going to push it down into the glue. And then we'll do the same thing. Hey Janet, hi Judy, hey Grace, hey Anna, hi Eileen, hey Shelly, how are you doing from Eastern Oregon? If you leave the hole at the bottom a little bigger, it's easier to stuff, which I didn't do with the last one. I made it pretty small and it was hard to get my stuffing in there. So what you can do with these are a lot of things. You could make a banner with some flags and some of these stuffed pumpkins, and then you can just use clothespins to clip the stems on whatever it is that's holding your banner up, whether that's jute or ribbon or rope or whatever. Oops. Oh, did I pull something apart? No. You can also put these in dough bowls with, you know, pine cones and stuff like that. Okay, I think just a little bit more. I'm really stuffing this one up pretty full. And then you can do this idea that I'm going to show you in just a second, which I think is fun. And this could be a hanging piece of art, or you could prop it up on something. There's lots of different things that you could do. Okay, so there's the center section. And let's do this last little bit here. This is going to be so cute, and I think you're going to be surprised when you see what I used to make the board that we're going to be putting this on. I am all about using everything. When you buy something, use every single bit of it, and get creative. Use it in ways that other people might not think to use it. So. The board that we're going to be using came from Dollar Tree, and it's part of a tic-tac-toe set, which I don't intend to use the pieces for a tic-tac-toe game. I intend to do something different with it, but just get this in there. little bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to glue it shut. This is what the back of it looks like. This is what the front of it looks like, and it's starting to get a little bit frayed around the edges, which is perfectly normal. You can cut some of that off if you want to, or just leave it as frayed as it is. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take an embroidery hoop. I cannot remember what the size of this was. Let me look. It's 8 inches round. I got this at Walmart in the embroidery section of the craft department. And if you've never worked with these before, they come with 2 pieces, an inside and an outside. And I'm just going to be using a piece of this painter's drop cloth on it that I ironed, so it's nice and smooth. And you can see where I put it on here earlier. It has kind of an outline of that. I'm gonna take it off for just a minute because we're gonna embellish this before we move on to the next step. And we're gonna use one of my absolute all-time favorite things to do it. These are the chalk paste and ink markers that you can get from magnoliadiy.com. Same as the stencil. Which if you don't have this yet, oh my gosh, you're totally missing out. This set is awesome. And I'm just gonna do squiggle dot dot dot, or maybe squiggle dot dot, squiggle dot dot, kind of around the edge. If I don't like it, I can always swap another piece. The black bodies in this set are ink, and if you're going to use it on a tea towel, you can heat set it just the same as ink, and it will be permanent. Okay, there's the start. Squiggle dot dot dot. You want to keep priming your ink pen. These last a very long time. I've had this set for, gosh, I think a couple of years. And this is exactly the kind of thing I use these for all the time, to do little embellishments. So I'm just kind of going along where I can see the creases. And I'm not going to worry if it's not exactly perfect. Oops. I'm also doing some of these longer and some of them shorter. It will dry very quickly. We'll let it sit for just a second before we move on to the next step with this. Okay, and I only had room for 2 dots in this last one. But isn't it cute? And it's gonna have the pumpkin in the center. It's gonna be super cute. Okay, so what I wanna show you now is what I used to make the backdrop for our sign, and what I'm gonna use most likely as an easel for this project. This is one of the $3 easels that you can get if you have a Dollar Tree Plus. It's a great thing. And then this is what I was talking about. This is a tic-tac-toe set that you can get at Dollar Tree Plus if you have that. And it has all these cute little wood pieces in it. This other set over here that I took apart had little squirrels and little acorns, which we'll do something fun with those. didn't have the right size wood panel thingamabob. So I was like, oh, this could work just fine. And I don't care if it has the dividers on the back. So what I did is I just took this and I just painted the back of it black. And I didn't even do a very good job. It's one coat. It's gonna be just fine, okay? So it's fully dry. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put this back into my embroidery hoop. Try to get it on there, you know, the best I can. I love working with embroidery hoops. It needs to scooch down this way just a little bit. I think I'll loosen it. Okay, perfect. So let's tighten it up with this little screw that's on the top. And then I'm gonna glue this on the rim of this so it'll hide, and then we'll trim it. So I'm just folding my edges over, just like this. This is actually easier to do with longer bits. Like with this piece right here was easy to do. It's a little bit more challenging to do it when you don't have very much fabric to grab a hold of. Okay, we're getting there, and this is gonna be so super cute. Of course we can embellish it. I have a lot of different ideas. I'm not sure what I'm gonna end up with finally, but I was thinking for this black one, where did I put my ribbon? That just some very simple buffalo check ribbon would be cute. We could do raffia. We could do a little bling. Yeah. This is one of those projects that you can get the idea from me, and then you can go and make it right to your taste, whatever you like. And those are the best projects, I think. The ones that you can do in your own colors, that you just learned an idea that was easy. Okay, now I'm gonna just roughly trim the excess here off. It doesn't have to be super close or neat because this is going to be completely hidden. Okay, this is what the back of it looks like. All right, and next up, let's do our pumpkin on here. And I'm not going to glue down the stem for the pumpkin because I might want to put something on it. So I'm really just going to do the body of this pumpkin, the spots that kind of stick up. It's adorable already. I'm not even kidding. Oops, I can't hang on to it. So, I mean, it could be some ribbon I don't know. I will fiddle around with that off camera. And then the next thing is to attach it to this. And to do that, I'm really just gonna put a little bit of glue on this around the edges. Ooh, I need another glue stick quick. Before my glue is not hot anymore. And I do feel like it needs something right here for sure. So I might try just making a kind of fake little bow. Let's do that. I am not a great bow maker. I don't know if you are, but it's definitely not my strong suit. But this would work for a start. And I would probably put it right here, and maybe some bling would be cute in this. Ha! Let's try it. Oh, that is super cute. Oh my goodness. It is, I am usually not a bling kind of gal, but sometimes you just need a little bling. So here is the project. Here is the easel, which I could, if I wanted, paint it black so that it would disappear. But what do you think? Isn't it cute? And it started with this, which I know I've been showing you guys for the last few days, all the things that you can do with this autumn leaf all over pattern stencil, including making your own fabric in whatever single color, multiple colors, or even tone on tone, like this one we did at the start of the video. You can use it on tin, you can use it on glass, you can use it on wood, you can use it on canvas, on tea towels, on a ton of different things. And yeah, so I think it's pretty adorable. If you're interested, if you would like to have a link so you could just go take a look at this, just say link in the comments. Karen says it's too cute. I think so too. And if you have Dollar Tree Plus where you live and you see this, either this or the squirrels with the acorns, but you don't necessarily want a tic-tac-toe game, just know that you can do something else with these little pieces and you can turn this into a side. So be thinking out of the box. If you don't have this set yet of chalk paste and ink markers from Magnolia, I think every crafter in the United States of America should have these, and they're super affordable. They're like, there's 8 pins there and they're around $15, and they last a super long time. So yeah, so you could make something like this and you could put it on a banner, or it could go in a dough bowl, and it could be absolutely whatever color scheme you like. Anyways, I hope that you got some good ideas and that you liked this project. If you have questions, let me know. If you would like links, let me know that too. Where am I? If you want to take a screenshot, here's a good one. I will get pictures close up, and I'll put those in the comments as well as here at DiyDreaming. Teresa says she really loved the blue that I showed the other day. There's a funny story about that. It's kind of a sad story. I made the most wonderful no-sew pumpkins and an adorable banner that was a blue and cream theme, and I used a stencil. And I have been searching through all my tubs of craft projects. I cannot find it. So now I'm thinking, I wonder if I gave all that away. That is a possibility that I gave it away last year. But anyways, I loved the blue also, but I think there's so many other color combinations that you could go with, that the possibilities are endless. Anyways. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know if you want links to any of this stuff here. Let me know if you have questions. Feel free to sprinkle, and I will see you guys later. Bye. I'm gonna come around and turn this off.